know if that was a good idea. I think that Hyuk is going to defend this, though. I think he would have defended it regardless. He is going to lose his hatchery. And it looks like, I think those are some drones that just got stormed or something. It looks like it got taken down. A bunch of really good storms again. Hyuk needs to do a better job of dodging those storms. And those storms are just going to kill Hyuk in the end. About half of Hyuk's Hydras just went down there. He is going to barely be able to defend. But again, Hyuk does not have the third base or the fourth base. It looks like some more drones going down here in the base, and I think this is going to be game pretty soon for Hyuk. Hyuk does not have the economy to support another army here. We're going to see Pure come out with a really big army, and Hyuk's going to have just a paltry force, and that's going to be it, I think.
Yeah, if you look at the supply, Hyuk is down about 30 supply compared to Pure. I think Hyuk could have afforded to leave 3 Hydralisks or something sitting back there to slowly whittle it down to keep any probes from coming out. Oh! And then a lurker, but there's no detection. Is he going to be able to pick anything off? No. All right, well, hey, it was wishful thinking there. Hyuk just right now sending out weak forces that are trying to take out the Templars, only taking out 1 High Templar with all of those Hydralisks, just 1. The other one obviously very damaged there. We do see 1-2 upgrades, so that is actually really good. And interestingly enough, Pure has not upgraded. He might have a weapons +1, I believe, but I haven't seen. We're going to have to wait till some units get selected. But that was a pretty devastating attack for Hyuk. He did lose quite a few drones there. And then we're going to see a storm here. Oh my gosh, and that could take out almost... Oh, that took out quite a few. 7 kills for that Templar there. That is not what Hyuk needs. And it looks like there's no other storm left there. So that was that dropped in, or did he just walk? Oh, that's the outside expansion, so that didn't even need to be dropped. But look at this expansion now. Because Hyuk wasn't able to take that out, bottom left is now completely thriving. And as you said, we're just going to see units pumping and pumping and pumping out of Pure, who is now even in bases with Hyuk.
Yeah, that you can see they're showing all the larvae that Hyuk has, idle larvae, because Hyuk just doesn't have the economy to support anything. Oh, he's had to get a new Hydra Den too, though. So really nothing to build. I guess, yeah, his Hydra Den was out front, so his Hydra Den got killed. Luckily, his Lair didn't get killed, but he doesn't have the funds to really support Mutalisk or anything like that anyways. So he just has this Mutalisk force, and that's all he has. I gotta say, Hyuk is drawing dead here. There's nothing he can do. That's too big of a force for Hyuk to get to the third, and a Protoss on 3 bases is just going to crush Hyuk's remaining base. It looks like Pure is getting mined a little bit. Oh, and Templar, Pure doing a defensive move by morphing an Archon there. Actually, Hyuk is doing a smart thing with his mutas. He's going to get a lot of free kills here since there's only 1 cannon to defend. 1 cannon that's in range. The other cannon is just barely in range. So Hyuk is getting a decent... It looks like he's got 5 kills at least. From that 1 muta, so pretty decent job by Hyuk to slow down the inevitable, but I don't think it's going to happen. Hyuk still doesn't even have the money, you can see, to expand. He hasn't expanded back to that 4th again because he's been spending so much money on his troops that he hasn't had the money to expand, and his troops got slaughtered by Pure's army. So they pretty much traded armies, but the difference was that Pure got his expansion up and Hyuk didn't. So now Hyuk is going to do what he can with his Mutalisk and just maybe hope that Pure makes a mistake. But it's probably not going to happen. It looks like both the natural and the secondary, or the main and the secondary for Pure are mined out, whereas Hyuk does still have minerals at 3 bases. So Pure is actually on only 1 base right now, but the thing is, Pure has a really big army, and it looks like, oh, these Templar could have got sniped, but Hyuk wasn't paying attention. Hyuk is, again, doing a really good job of hitting these probes. Okay storm there to try to defend himself. And Hyuk doing the damage he can, but that army right there is enough to win the game, I think, and that's the difference. Is Hyuk is also going to be mined out pretty soon, but whether they're both mined out or not, Pure has a big enough army to win the game right now, I believe.
Well, I feel like, again, I don't know if it's luck.
Oh, that's a pretty good army.
Okay, so, all right, well, he got his Hydralisk Den back, guys. But I don't know, like, I feel like Hyuk just keeps missing these Templars. Like, he keeps flying, and then, you know, they're an inch outside of his field of view, just barely covered by the fog of war, and he keeps missing, You know, the only Templars he's sniped are those like 3 Templars in the mid-game, and now we're pretty much going to the late game. I would like to see some Hive Tech coming out here for Hyuk to try to do some damage and maybe try to turn the tides, maybe get a swarm attack going on the bottom left base because there's so many cannons there. But I don't feel like that's the case at this point. I think Hyuk has had to rebuild so much that at this point he's just focusing more on all these units. Now that is a large grouping of units. Don't get me wrong. If he can dodge these 10 storms that are going to come his way, if he can't kill these off, if Hyuk would just go up. If he would just go up. Hyuk, come on, man. You can do it for me. There's one down. Nope. Oh, losing quite a few there, but again, you know, Hyuk just barely missing on the timing of this, and he's going to watch this replay when he gets back and just facepalm himself for so many opportunities he had that were so close.
There we go.
A good job there. Going back, doing what he needs to do. He's going to get this Templar out as well. Templars that are rallied outside of the base. That is a mistake of Protoss against Zerg. You need to at least keep them in the base so that they're near the cannons. Right now, wow, and we see like a little army going in, not able to actually take out a Templar. Okay.
Well, I'm really amazed actually that Hyuk has rebuilt this army. I underestimated, I guess, how much money he had in the bank. Really surprised that he was able to do that, and Pure didn't have an even greater army by now. So I guess even though Pure did get that base up, he didn't have an overwhelming economy at the time. So really, if you look at the food count, they're actually pretty much even. So Hyuk has managed to get himself back in this game through just pure mechanics, and that is one thing I have to say about Hyuk is, like you said, he's not going to make it into like the round of 8 or anything like that, most likely in any Star League. But his mechanics are what have exploded. So, you know, like Zerg vs. Zerg, I'd say his game sense is pretty good. But in this matchup, his game sense has not been so great. Like you said, he's really been actually Hyuking himself by going out, trying to go after those Templars. So, gotta say that definitely that analogy, or whatever you call it, euphemism, whatever, has come into play this game. Hyuk definitely could have won this game had he sniped those Templar. Game would have been a lot different. But, you know, it's hard to say that he could have really done more. Like you said, part of it was just getting unlucky. A part of it is Pure has a more Dragoon-heavy army, which has allowed him to defend his Templar. But also, because he's had such a Dragoon-heavy army, he's had a hard time really pushing on Hyuk because he just doesn't have the usual Zealot and Templar force you would normally see. So, again, and a bunch of Dragoons careless going through the middle here without an Observer. Observer finally come in. It looks like Force is kind of piecemeal coming in for Hyuk. Some pretty good storms. It's going to take more than that, though. Hyuk has a pretty big army here. A lot of Zealots. Oh, but big critical storms. There are more big storms from Pure. That's been the highlight of Pure's play this game, and Lurkers clumped up together. That's not a good sign. A lot of Lurkers and a lot of Hydras. Wow, that whole force just got totally wiped. So, again, Pure showing that his micro is just great. And so, wow, it's just hard how this game has swung back and forth. Really, the army that Hyuk built up, I thought he actually had a chance there, but I think Pure was just at the time focused on economy, and as soon as he saw that army, he's just like, all right, I need to get more of an army. And so now you're seeing the difference that third base made, and it looks like Pure is pushing out in the natural here. Not that big of a force, but Hyuk has nothing coming out right now, so it might be enough that Hydra's Den is going to go down again. There's GG from Hyuk, finally. So good try by Hyuk. I gotta say, both players made some mistakes, but I think Pure just played a lot stronger, and like you said, you can't allow those Templar to do what they do best. And, you know, as soon as Protoss started using Templar like that, they started becoming really successful. It wasn't until Zerg countered with those Meta Snipes to really take down the Templar numbers, and since Hyuk did a bad job of that this game, he really just I lost it.
I hope Bisu watches this game on how to play Protoss versus Zerg on Heartbreak Ridge, so that for future games he'll do better. I feel bad, man. I did want to see Hyuk go farther, but I feel like he's already really proved himself. I mean, he is definitely a contender. He is definitely somebody we're going to keep our eye on in the MSL. And even if he loses out of there in the round of 32 or round of 16, I hope he makes it to the round of 16. He can, you know, maybe he can get seeded in the next one. That'd be fantastic. Anyways, so the winner is going to play Lida and his little wraiths.
He's he sat there for 40 minutes, whatever, just sitting there waiting. He's like cold now, and actually he's wearing that big puffy jacket. So the Ring of Power did not work out so well for Hyuk, but he still has it for the MSL, so we'll see how he does in that. And again, I don't think that Pure did anything that spectacular. He played a pretty standard Protoss vs. Zerg game, but Hyuk played a little below par in that last game there, and so Pure came out the victor. So we'll see you in Pure versus Lida. Stay with us for the next game.